Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into an incredibly visually rich ancient text to unpack the chaotic, fiery cosmic origins behind creation itself. We're going to look at some genuinely fascinating primary source material that paints a very vivid picture of how the universe and the beings within it were first forged.
So, let's kick things off with a pretty massive question. How did our ancestors use these untamable raw elements to explain cosmic order and the very first act of hubris? To really understand the cosmic origins behind creation, we have to look at how ancient cultures conceptualized power. They didn't use abstract physics. They used the most intense, terrifying, and awe-inspiring elements they could possibly observe. And it all begins with absolute darkness shattered by an unimaginable spark.
Section 1. The second day of creation, the fiery essence. All right, so plunging right into the eerie quiet of the early cosmos, the text actually establishes Monday as the first day, which means here on this second day, Tuesday, the entire focus shifts to what the text simply and powerfully calls the fiery essence. It's just such an amazing concept, right? Before planets, before oceans, before us, there's just this raw elemental potential waiting to be shaped. And honestly, the way this shaping happens is completely mind-bending.
Moving on to Section 2, the paradox of lightning, a divine manipulation.
Now, what's truly fascinating here is how the text describes the creation of nature's most volatile force using absolute paradoxes. The text tells us that the divine eye looked at a very hard, firm rock, and from the sheer gleam of that divine glance striking the rock, lightning gets its, quote, wonderful nature. It's described as an impossible element. It says it's both fire and water and fire, and one does not put out the other, nor does the one dry up the other. I mean, it completely defies the laws of physics as we know them, cementing this cosmic origin as something entirely supernatural.
To really wrap our heads around this abstract power, just look at these contradictory traits. Because this lightning is a divine paradox, it takes on impossible properties. It's brighter than the sun, softer than water, yet somehow firmer than hard rock. We're not just talking about regular electricity here. This is the ultimate, untamable cosmic force, and it's the foundational building block for what comes next.
Section 3. Forging 10 Angelic Troops, a Celestial Army.
This brilliantly illustrates a literal cosmic chain reaction of creation. It takes us step by step, starting from a single divine glance striking that firm rock, to a massive fire literally being cut from it. Then, from that harvested fire, the Creator forges the orders of the 10 incorporeal angelic troops. And finally, the ultimate goal of all this creation. They're commanded to stand in perfect, ordered ranks. It's like the raw chaos of fire is instantly organized into strict, divine discipline.
And we get this incredible visual detail in the source text. These beings are pure elemental force. Their essence, their weapons, and their very clothing, their raiment, are all made of burning flame. Just imagine that for a second. Millions of beings made of that same paradoxical, intense energy as the lightning we just talked about, all designed to stand perfectly and obediently in divine order. It's a completely breathtaking image of structured cosmic power.
Section 4. Satanael and the Impossible Thought. Satanael's Rebellion.
But, as we've seen throughout human history, order rarely lasts. The crucial point here is the stark contrast between these two sides. On one hand, we have the divine command, the expectation of perfect, fiery order, saying, I commanded that each one should stand in his order. But on the other hand, we have the immediate subversion of that command. One of these angels, Satanael, turns away, and critically, he takes the entire order of angels that was under him along with him. The whole structure just breaks from within.
This massive quote reveals the exact moment of the very first rebellion. And get this, it wasn't born of a physical action first, but of an idea. The text says, Satanael conceived an impossible thought. And what was it? To place his throne higher than the clouds above the earth, so that he might become equal in rank to the ultimate divine power. It's a rebellion rooted in deep, deep hubris, and this insatiable hunger for equal cosmic rank. It's literally the original ambition, pushing right up against the boundaries of the established order.
Section 5. The Endless Cosmic Fall. Tragic Consequence.
The swift and severe response to this impossible thought is honestly haunting. Satanael and the troops that followed him are forcefully thrown out from the height. But it's the specific nature of the punishment that's just so striking to me.
They aren't just destroyed, they are eternally condemned to fly continuously in the air above the bottomless. It's this dramatic, agonizing image of a perpetual freefall. The very beings forged from firm rock and divine fire are relegated to a state of endless, ungrounded suspension over an absolute void.
Which leaves us with this final, really provocative thought. We started out by looking at the cosmic origins behind creation to understand how ancient texts explained pure power. But ultimately, this ancient text uses these terrifying celestial beings to hold a mirror right up to human nature. It begs the question, if these magnificent incorporeal troops forged from paradoxical lightning and pure fire couldn't resist the corrupting temptation of ambition and absolute power, how can we? It's definitely something to think about the next time you see a flash of lightning. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning the world around you.